Dozie stood up in shock as he heard the details of the call. Police station? Erinma? What could have happened? Dozie's mind was an ocean of conflicting thoughts as he rushed down to the police station to see his wife. When he arrived, Erinma was brought out from the prison to see him, and she looked so humble, like a fowl drenched in the rain. Erinma, what happened to you? How did you get here? Erinma couldn't even look up at him. How would she explain this to Dozie so he could understand? As she was still in silence, contemplating how to explain to her husband, a police officer's voice came from behind. Oga, the man is here. Come and settle with him. Dozie stood up, still confused, and followed the officer. He was introduced to an elderly man whose face was so strong that it could break an eyes. So you are the husband of that fake lawyer. Anyway, that is your cross. Just pay me my 200,000 naira and I'll let her go. Dozie was shocked. 200,000? Please, sir, may I know the kind of business you had with my wife that she's owing you such amounts? But the man lost his patience. See, Mr. Man, I don't have time for your questions. You can ask your wife the business she did that landed her in debt. Just give me my money now. If not, I'll transfer her to another station where they will torture the hell out of her. Dozie could see that the man was serious and mean, so he did not bother arguing further with him. He made the payments immediately and went to bail his wife from the police officer at the counter. As they went back home that evening, the husband and wife sat in silence in the car. Dozie was trying so hard to contain his anger because he knew that if he opens up his mouth to talk, he might be tempted to complete his sentence on her body. Erinma, on the other hand, was shivering on the seat. She knew that she had not only been stupid this time around, but she had dragged her husband into her stupidity and humiliated him too. She was just saying a prayer of help as she sat there, praying for a miracle too. Anyhow, even if it means him having instant amnesia, because she did not know how to explain herself. The moment they stepped their feet into the house, Dozie turned around and you could see the fury in his eyes. Are you ready to talk now? Which business did you do with that man? Erinma was startled by his tone and immediately fell to her knees. My husband, it is not like that, so hey, okay, I'll explain. You know you told me to take my business outside yesterday, so I decided to take your advice. I was just obeying you. I thought of what to do, and then I remembered that in my primary school, when we used to do career day, the principal told us that we have so many potentials hidden in us and we cannot really know what we can do until we push ourselves. So I decided to step out with confidence, knowing that I can do anything. I just wanted to make you proud though. I didn't know. By now, Dozie was losing his patience. Erinma, if I give you a flying knock, you will find yourself in your father's compound this minute. Don't test my patience. Erinma shivered even more. I am sorry, please, I'll talk. When you left for work this morning, I also set out for my own work. I was just strolling along the streets when I saw the man arguing with someone. Out of curiosity, I went to ask the people there what happened, and they said that the man was duped by some area boys who sold the land to him. He bought the land from them without knowing that the land had been initially sold to someone else. I took pity on the man and thought of how to help him. I then remembered that lawyers fight for the cause of the helpless, and I decided to help him. I approached him and told him that I will help him take the man to court and get the sole ownership of the land. He agreed and I charged him 50,000 naira. He then became my client. I went to confront the other man, but I did not know. Okay, I went to ask the man to back down and leave the land land for my clients. When the man asked me who I am, I told him that I am Barrister Erimma and threatened to take him to court if he did not cooperate. But to my greatest shock, the man was a senior barrister, and before I knew it, he made some phone calls and ran a background check on me. When he found out that I was a fake lawyer, he then arranged some soldiers who came to bundle me and my clients out of the land. But before we were taken away, he collected 200,000 naira from my clients as damages for emotional and physical stress. My client was very angry with me and got me arrested. It's not my intention. I just wanted to help the man out. Dozie was clearly exhausted by now. Look at the way you are just confusing my head, Erimma. Who did I offend? Why is my own different? I don't even want to ask you what you know about law for you to claim to be a lawyer. But what is paining me is that I lost 200,000 naira because of your 50,000 naira business. I should have just left you there to spend 1 week. Maybe by then your head will reset. Of all businesses to do, it is land business you took interest in. Do you know they used to kill people because of land? Every man was crying uncontrollably at this point. Please, my husband, I am very sorry. I did not know it would lead to this. Please forgive me. I will never go beyond my limits again. I am sorry. Dozie looked at her ridiculously. I wish I knew that this was the rubbish you did, eh? I would have personally told the police women there to beat you blue black before bailing you out. See, I am not interested in your crocodile tears, because I know you will still do more. Is it not you again, the village CEO? I will not waste my money because of you. You will pay for what you cost me today. From tomorrow, you will be going with me to the shop. You will work out the 200,000 naira I spent today. And besides, I don't even trust you again to leave you alone in this house. Don't let me wake before you tomorrow morning. If not, that is where I will have problems with you. Erimma was relieved and she thanked him before going to make dinner. The next morning, before Dozie woke up, Erimma was already dressed, waiting for him in the sitting room. She had eaten and arranged his breakfast too. She was determined to make up for her mess this time, so she would try to be useful to him in the shop, minding her lane and focusing on learning the business, so that if he ever decides to open a branch in the future, he would be able to trust her and put her in charge of that branch. Dozie took her to the shop and Erimma quickly settled in, dusting off the dirt from the goods and arranging them in the counters. Not long after, customers started to troop in and Erimma watched closely as they bargained, and as Dozie convinced them to agree to his price, she was intrigued by the sweetness and firmness of his tone that could even make the blind believe that they were just sleeping and not really blind. She became even more interested in doing her own business. Kai, business is sweet oh. See the way my husband is turning these people heads and they are bringing out money. God, when will I get to this stage? I can't keep on failing at business so. Erimma, don't forget you were born to be a CEO. One failure cannot make you quit. Erimma became even more determined to fulfill her dream of becoming a CEO. Later in the day, a young man came into Dozie's shop and asked for 2 packets of wall sockets. Dozie gave it to him without any bargain or collecting money. Erimma was confused at what just happened and she asked him, "Honey, why did you give that man your goods without collecting money? How will you get your money back?" Dozie smiled and explained to her what the man was doing. "I know the man. He's among those people that don't have enough money to rent their own shop in the markets. So what they do is they come to our shops to collect a product and then sell it to a customer after adding their own profits. Sometimes these people even make more profits than us, but we don't care as long as they pay us for our goods. Osaya has come to stay." Erimma's ear pricked at this revelation and she could feel butterflies swimming in her belly. Is that so? This is a cool business so even without capital or risk, one can be making cool cash. Hey, Erimma, are you ready for this? I don't want to do anything that will make this man angry with me. Oh. He has not recovered from the one I did. But then, what could possibly go wrong? Is it not to just hold down a customer and then rush to get the product? Those men doing it, do they have double heads? If they can do it, why not me? Anyway, I'll just lay low for now and study the markets for some days before starting my own Osuaya. Erimma did not say anything to Dozie, who did not suspect that she had started brewing another idea in her head. She just kept on following his lead at the shop and secretly studying the way the men did their Osuaya at the markets. And then, days later, she decided to try her own first deal. She told Dozie that she wanted to go use the toilets, but instead, she diverted to the gates of the markets where several customers were walking up and down looking for the best vendor. Erimma joined the other men who were chasing after the customers, asking them what they wanted and even dragging their bags by force. Luckily for her, she soon got a customer who waited for her to go get the products, and much to her shock, Erimma made a gain of 10,000 naira from that deal alone. She was very excited and pleased with herself, but then she quickly returned to the shop because she did not want Dozie to suspect anything and spoil her game for her. She wouldn't dare mention the successful deal to him because she knew that he would never support her. He might even stop her from coming to the shop, which she couldn't risk. For days, Erimma continued this way, sneaking out of the shop to run a deal, and she was successful in all of them, such that the customers even started to trust her because she was among the few women who did Osuaya in the markets, and they felt that it was better to trust a woman than a man. Dozie never got to find out because she never went close to his shop to get products. She was very smart about it, and it paid off because in just 5 days she had made over 100,000 naira from Osuaya. And then one day she sneaked out as usual to do her business for the day. She soon secured a good customer who wanted to buy a 55 inches television. She told the customer the price and then went to get it from a seller. Fortunately for Erimma, she saw a shop that had it at a very good price, such that she would make a gain of 50,000 naira from the television. She collected it immediately and rushed off to give it to her customer. The customer paid her 250,000 naira, out of which she kept her own 50,000 naira gain after paying the seller for the TV. Erimma was fulfilled and rushed down to her husband's shop, pretending as if nothing happened as usual. But what Erimma did not know was that she had just walked into a bee-infested room and they would not spare her. Hours later, some people came to Dozie's shop pointing at Erimma. Na she be that? Na she said the television give you? Erimma's heart skipped a beat as she saw the man whom she sold the television to. What could the problem be? Is the television wire missing? Dozie, who was strict in the markets, could not tolerate anyone barging into his shop, and so he stopped them halfway and queried them, "What do you want? Who said television give you for here?" One of the men then replied him, "Oga Dozie, no vex. Na this woman we dey find. She dey always follow us do Osuaya for gates, but today she sell fake television give this man, so the man come back come dey shout. That's why we can't find her." Dozie felt like he was in a trance. He looked at the man unbelievably and then turned back to look at Erimma, who was visibly shaking by now. He found it rather amusing that his own wife was accused of doing Osuaya. But then, going by Erimma's track records, what Erimma cannot do does not exist. Erimma, did you hear them? Tell me they are joking. Have you been doing Osuaya? Erimma was sweating and panicking by now. This small business that she has been managing is what these bad belle people came to ruin. Osuaya, No, I just said let me help this man to show him where to get the television since he did not know the market. But I gave him the television. Oh, Abi Oga, did I not give you the television? The man eyed Erinma and shouted at her, you sold me a fake television stuffed with foam, so you think I won't find out? Erinma was shocked. Foam kwa? How come? Dozie seemed to be understanding what was happening, and so he told Erinma to take them to where she bought the television from, and she immediately took them to the shop. There were two men there. Dozie was shocked to find out that it was the shop of one of those market scammers who usually deceived unsuspecting customers and denied them after all. As expected, when Erinma confronted them, asking them why they sold a fake television to her, they looked at her confused. Who said television give you? You sure say na for this market you buy television? We no even get television for this shop since last week, so how we wan take sell wetin we no get? Abeg comot for road make we see better customers. They denied ever seeing Erinma before, and she was reduced to a fool in their front. Dozie was furious at this point. He understood the market and knew that these men had fooled his wife. The customer was getting really impatient by now and started to shout at Erinma, Madam, give me my 250,000 oh. Give me my money here and now. I don't understand the rubbish people are talking about. At the mention of the amount, Dozie froze in shock. 200 and what? Erinma, how much did you make from this deal? Erinma stammered. 50,000. Dozie shouted, another 200 again? Erinma, just yesterday you got into a debt of 200,000 naira, and now you have gotten yourself into another 200,000 naira again. Erinma, did they do you? Were you cursed? Well, I don't know about that, and I don't even care. I don't know you. I have not seen you before. If you know how you have been doing your osoaya, go and settle the debts the same way. Dozie told Erinma bluntly and walked away, leaving her with the aggrieved customer. The man was not ready to listen to any excuses, and Erinma just begged him that he should go with her to the house, as she had the 100,000 naira she had realized so far, plus the 50,000 naira gain she made from the television sale. She gave the man the 150,000, promising that she would pay him back the remaining 100,000 bit by bit. That was only when the man agreed to let her go. Erinma did not return to the shop again, but instead went into one of the rooms to lock herself. When Dozie returned home that night, she still did not come out for fear of what he would do to her. In fact, she suspected that he would bundle her back to her father's house. But surprisingly, Dozie did not even have her time. He just went to the kitchen to get his dinner and went to sleep. The next morning, Erinma prepared as usual and waited for Dozie in the sitting room with her head bowed down in shame. Dozie came out and ignored her, but the moment Erinma tried to follow him, he turned around angrily and barked at her. If I slap you, you will find yourself at the police station. I don't want to ever see you again in my shop or near that market. Avoid me at all costs, Erinma. Erinma quietly turned around and went to sit down. She was even lucky that Dozie did not do past this one, because she knew that she deserved anything he did to her at that moment. Erinma was all alone at the house, and she felt lonely once again, as she had been used to going out to the busy markets for these few weeks. She had time to do some self-reflection and trace where she had gotten it wrong this time around. Is this not foolishness? I lost all I gained, and even lost extra in my bid to be smart. Who would have thought that I would get scammed in that market? I thought I had everything figured out, and I was even planning on surprising Dozie when I make enough money. But come to think of it, why does everything I do always fail? I I have a very pure heart and I am serious in business, but somehow all my calculations just turn out to be wrong and I end up shooting myself in the foot. Or am I cursed? Did they swear for me? Now, because what other reason is there to this? I just want to do well. I want to make myself proud. I want to make my husband proud. Is that too much to ask for? Now I look like a bad wife who is always putting her husband in trouble. God knows I'm not a bad wife. I am not. I am just unlucky. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? Erimma broke down into uncontrollable tears. She cried her heart out until she fell asleep. When she woke up later, it was already afternoon and she quickly went to freshen up and get something to eat. After eating, she felt better and her head became lighter. Thinking of everything that happened now, she was no longer heavy-hearted, but now saw it as a process. Everything she experienced was part of the journey to her great success, and giving up now would only mean that she was not strong enough to face her future. She then decided once again to not give up, but to continue pushing until she achieved her dream. Dozie returned that night and called Erimma out for a conversation. I don't know what else to say again. But one thing remains constant. I did not bargain for this at all. Other people complain about their wives being lazy or being stubborn or nagging too much or things I can understand. But your own I don't understand. I have not seen this type before in my life. But it is okay. It is my cross and I will carry it patiently. Anyway, why I called you tonight is for us to settle everything once and for all. I have seen that you have a great passion for business, so I would not want to discourage you from pursuing that. But you can't keep on deceiving yourself. You need to learn and gain the knowledge of how to do business. Can you see how you embarrassed yourself at the markets? You just came to the market and you went to be competing with Osoaya people that have learned the business for years. It is not done that way. So I have decided that I will give you some money to start a business, but you must first learn under an expert in that business. But first, what business can you do with 5 million naira? Erimma was shocked. She had not expected this conversation and the amount of money involved. She readjusted herself on her seat and set out to answer. Thank you, my husband, for giving me another chance. I sincerely want to make you proud, and I hope that this will be the last and successful business venture I will embark on. I think I know the business I want to do already. When I was still in the village, there was this woman that usually sells akara at Eko Ozala every morning and evening. Honey, you need to see the way this woman sells akara like pure water. Before you come and go back, she has sold a full bucket of akara. I believe if I get a good spot in a busy market, I will do well in the business. So that is the business I want to do. Dozie looked at Erimma like a clown. Erimma, which business do you want to do? Erimma looked at him surprised. Akara business now, that is what I want to do. Dozie could not believe his ears. You want to use 5 million naira to do akara business? Do you know what is 5 million naira, Erimma? I can see that you don't even know what you want for your life. No wonder you have been dancing like a grasshopper, deceiving yourself that you are a CEO. Even this so-called akara business, if I give you the money to start, you will not still do it very well. Is it not you again? Your pride will not let you calm down and follow the due process. Erimma, I will not allow you to go and disgrace me again. So I will look for a business for you and take you to a place where you can learn. You will learn for at least 1 year. Only then will I be able to trust you to commit my money. Erimma was shocked. 1 year? How can I go and spend a whole year learning what I don't know? Dozie looked at her harshly. Did you say something? Did I just hear you talk? Erimma immediately zipped her mouth and stayed calm, even though she was not in support of his plan. 1 week later, Dozie told Erimma that she had made the arrangements for her to go and learn fashion designing from a big designer in town. This is a rare opportunity. I beg you with everything in me. Respect yourself and respect me also when you get there. I know you love money so much, but remember, you are going for training, so you shouldn't expect to start making money immediately. Just be patient and learn what you need to learn. Then when you become an expert, you can start making money. Please, don't behave otherwise. Follow the process and you'll be glad you went through it. I have already paid the training fee and it is not a small amount, so don't let my money go to waste. Erimma just sat there nodding her head like a lizard. Fashion designing was not bad, so she would follow through and see where it leads. She was sure that in less than 3 months, she would be an expert and start her own, so she won't have to waste time learning at the place. Dozie took her to the place that morning, and Erimma felt at ease immediately. The owner of the fashion house was called Madam Gold, and she was a no-nonsense woman who took her business very seriously. Madam Gold was known for her great skill in making elegant outfits, and she usually had a handful of clients troop in and out of her space daily. The first day there was overwhelming for Erimma as she found a lot of things confusing. The industrial machines, the different patterns, and the sketchings all seemed like magic to her as Madam Gold handled them efficiently. Erimma was not allowed to touch anything, so she just observed what was being done. By evening, she returned home, and when she narrated all that happened to Dozie, he was relieved that she did not embarrass herself over there. Every day, Erimma would go to the fashion house, and whenever she returned, Dozie would not fail to ask her everything that happened because he wanted to be sure that she was not misbehaving again. After spending 2 weeks there, Erimma could finally pedal a manual sewing machine, and she had also started to understand the basics of fashion. However, among everything, nothing intrigued Erimma more than the way Madam Gold charged very high prices for the outfit she made, and surprisingly, the clients were ready to pay without any hesitation. Erimma realized that there was indeed lots of money in the business, and she was more motivated to learn quickly and start making her own money too. Wednesdays were usually the day Madam Gold went for fabric and accessories shopping, and so whenever clients came, they would be asked to drop their fabric and return later to see Madam Gold. On this particular Wednesday, Madam Gold had gone to the market as usual, leaving behind 4 of her apprentices, including Erimma. By now, Erimma already knew how to take body measurements and also cut basic body patterns. A young lady walked in, asking to see Madam Gold, and Erimma rushed over to attend to her. "You are welcome, ma. What can we do for you?" Erimma asked. The young lady replied her, "I want Madam Gold to make a nice design for me with this fabric. Is she around?" Erimma smiled as an idea quickly occurred to her. Who said she couldn't make money while training? At least she had learned something, and this could be an opportunity for her to showcase her skill. "Madam Gold is not around, but I am the senior designer here. You can tell me what you want, and you will be rest assured that I will give you exactly what you want." The lady looked at Erimma skeptically before deciding to trust her. "If you say so, but please don't ruin my fabric. This is a limited piece hand-picked from Turkey. I want you to make me something that has the form of a mermaid, but with corset, of course. I want my waist perfectly snatched. I'll be wearing it to an awards night. I hope you understand the seriousness of this fabric." Erimma smiled confidently. "I understand perfectly, ma. You don't have a problem. You can come back in 2 weeks to collect your dress. I'll just take your measurements and we can discuss the price. Erimma rounded up with the lady and the amount charged was 80,000 naira. Erimma tried so hard to comport herself because she was really excited. Her fellow apprentices did not even bother themselves with what Erimma was doing, as they had always minded their business. Erimma got to work immediately and started to cut the fabric using the little knowledge she knew. She had planned the way everything would go, and she knew that in 2 Wednesdays she would be done with the outfit, so Madam Gold would not find out anything about what she was doing. The day soon came and Erimma felt really nervous. She had really struggled to make out something with the fabric, and she just prayed that as the lady put it on, it would miraculously fit her. That morning, Dozie left before Erimma, but not before motivating her one more time and telling her that he was really proud of her. She had been of her best behavior for the past 1 month, and he was confident that she would do well eventually. But what he did not know was that he was going to have another shock that day. Dozie was in the midst of packing a client's order when he received a phone call from Madam Gold, telling him to rush over to the police station at town as Erimma had just been arrested. Dozie clutched his chest and he almost peed on his body when he heard the news. Oh, not again! What did she do this time? Why is Erimma in prison this time around? Will she escape this one freely? Will Dozie forgive her again this time around? We'll find out in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Please share the story out with your loved ones. Subscribe if you've not done so already, and give the story a thumbs up until I bring the next episode your way. Bye!